I was sleeping soundly when suddenly I heard the sound of a lighter from outside. Quietly, I climbed out of bed and tiptoed over, planning to scare Mike. I gently held the door handle, cracked the door open a little, and then heard his voice, full of helplessness and frustration. "I know Mia is coming back in March," she told me. "It's not that simple. You can't just break up like that. You don't understand. I still have feelings for her. After all, it's been almost 3 years." My hand holding the door handle started to tremble, and my mind began to spin. My heart ached sharply, like 1,000 needles pricking at it. "Well, let's just distance ourselves slowly and eventually find a good reason to break up." Click. Tears fell onto the floor and my body swayed unsteadily. I quickly grabbed the wall to steady myself, holding back the sobs. I couldn't believe it. The man who had just been so intimate with me was now calmly discussing breaking up with me because his first love, Mia, was coming back. Speaking of which, Mike and I met because of Mia. Back then, Mia gave up on love and moved to the US with her parents. Mike had become a mess, skipping classes, failing exams, and drowning himself in alcohol and cigarettes. That was when I, who had secretly admired him for a year, saw my chance. I started appearing around him, creating accidental encounters and coincidences. Eventually we met, became friends, and then became closer. He got drunk, and I carried him back to the hotel alone. He smoked too much and felt sick, so I bought all kinds of candies to help him quit. His grades slipped and I started tutoring him every day. During that time, he lost a lot of weight, and I took care of him by bringing him healthy meals every day. He warned me more than once that he couldn't forget Mia. At the time, I naively thought, she's immigrated, can she really come back? So, every time I would shake my head and say, it's okay. I'll help you get over it. Finally, after a year of my relentless efforts, his heart softened. When we graduated from college, he bought me a bouquet of my favorite tulips and asked if I would stay and be with him. It's been almost 3 years now. He's been really good to me. We've always been known as the model couple among our friends, and I believe that I would never meet a better man than him in this lifetime. But now I realize to him, those 3 years were just a way to get by. I leaned against the wall, frozen in place. Outside, I heard footsteps. Not wanting him to realize that I was awake, I hurriedly slipped back into bed, wiped my face with the sleeve of my pajamas, and shut my eyes tightly. Click. The door lock opened. I immediately shut my eyes, and his footsteps grew closer, eventually stopping right in front of me. After a few seconds, I heard a deep sigh. Maybe in the time I didn't know, he had already been standing by my bed, sighing over me in the middle of the night countless times. Maybe while I was planning our future, he had already been plotting how to break up with me in the most dignified way. The other side of the bed dipped down. After a few rustling sounds, an unbearable silence filled the room. I slowly opened my eyes, trying to control my breath. Tears streamed down the corners of my eyes. "Mike, is this your New Year's gift to me?" I hadn't slept all night. When the sky began to brighten, I quietly left his house. I sat numbly at a breakfast stall, waiting for the owner to bring me my steamed buns. I had cried all night, but now, with the cold wind blowing, I had calmed down a little. When the impulsive love faded, many trivial things began to surface in my mind. I began to calculate from all the small things in the past. Mike couldn't have had no feelings for me, just like he said, "I still have feelings for you." It's just that, compared to his first love, Mia, I didn't rank that high. I smiled bitterly to myself. Since that's the case, maybe I should just go along with his wishes. 2 months of slow distancing would give me some time to forget him. I'll move on before he does. Walking away together in opposite directions is always much faster than one person moving forward and the other stepping back. I ate a few bites of breakfast, and just as I was about to take a cab to work, my phone rang. I hesitated as I looked at the screen. Before I could think for a few seconds, the call was ended. Then a WeChat message popped up. "Mike, where did you go this morning? Why didn't you answer my call?" I furrowed my brows and replied, "There was an urgent matter at work, had to leave early." He replied with a simple, "Okay," and didn't ask any more questions. See? He's so efficient. We talked about it last night and now he's already acting on it today. The whole day I couldn't help but check my phone over and over again. In the past, even during work hours, I would chat with him, and he would always reach out to me. But today, my phone was strangely silent, as if it had broken. After work, I went back to my own place and opened WeChat again, But there were still no messages. By evening, there was still nothing. I absent-mindedly flipped through our chat history, page by page. Inside, there were sweet words like, "I love you," "I miss you," and "I care about you." I just couldn't understand it. Everything had been fine before, so why did everything change overnight? My eyes began to sting, but I didn't want to cry anymore. I stared at the delete button, feeling reluctant. It wasn't until my phone displayed a 30-second countdown that I hurriedly pressed the delete button, clearing out all the chat history from our 2 years, 11 months, and 21 days together. Looking at my phone that was now turned off, besides the pain, there was also a slight sense of relief. The next 5 days, it was like we suddenly stopped contacting each other. He didn't reach out, and I didn't contact him either. Even my colleagues started gossiping, wondering if I had broken up with him. I just smiled and neither confirmed nor denied it. "Mimi, you can't keep eating like this. If you keep eating like that, I won't be able to carry you," I said, patting the cat while feeding it treats, scolding it lightly. My phone vibrated. I reached out and looked at the screen. It was Mike. I felt a little surprised. "Hello? Where are you?" he asked. I laughed a little. "At home. How come you haven't texted me these past few days?" I furrowed my brows. "I've been busy." "All right, what are you doing?" "Feeding the cat." "Oh." I took a deep breath. Maybe it's been so long since we last chatted that there was an awkwardness in the air. He sensed it too. We chatted briefly before he hung up. I sighed. Well, this is fine. One day, I will move on before he does. Honestly, I wasn't lying. Recently, I had taken on a new project and I was really busy. The next day, after work, I was holding a pile of documents, thinking about heading home to finish up some work. But just as I was about to step out of the office door, my feet froze. Mike was there to pick me up. He saw me and walked over, skillfully taking the documents from my hands and grabbing my bag, pulling me toward the car. I took a few steps but then pulled away from his embrace. "Why are you suddenly here?" I asked. He looked at me for a moment before replying, "I haven't contacted you for a few days, so I thought I'd come check on you." My heart ached. So, he was still thinking of me, right? But then I quickly thought, well, he must have some feelings for me after all. "Let's go to my place. I'll cook for you," he said. I stopped in front of the car and smiled. "I don't think so. I still have a lot of work to do. I need to get back to the office." He rubbed my head gently. "It's okay. You can work at my place, right?" I couldn't think of any reason to refuse. After all, I used to often go to his place to work. "Okay, I bought your favorite pasta," he added. I looked up at him for a moment and nodded. Once we got to his place, I couldn't help but think back to that night. My heart felt unbearably heavy. "What's wrong?" he asked. "Nothing," I replied quickly. He patted my shoulder. "I'm going to cook. You can get some work done and I'll call you when it's ready." I nodded quietly and quickly ran to the study room. I feared that if I stayed a second longer, the tears would fall. I couldn't understand him. Wasn't everything fine just a few days ago? Why was he suddenly coming to find me now? My mind was a mess, and I didn't finish my work before he called me to dinner. "Eat more?" he said, already peeling shrimp for me and putting it in front of me. You see, he still loves me. He knows I love shrimp, but I hate peeling them, so he always does it for me. But then I thought, maybe he was just talking nonsense that day. Maybe he didn't really mean it. "Are you going back to your hometown for the new year?" I asked as I looked up at him cautiously. "Yeah, are you coming with me to meet my parents?" I added. He looked surprised, then quickly lowered his gaze. I gave him one last chance, Mike. "If you say, 'let's go,' I might forgive you. During the new year, I might be busy," he said. "You can come after you're done." "The second day of the new year is fine too," I added, trying to convince him. "I might not have time, Lucy. It's okay, don't worry. There will be other opportunities." I looked at him for a long time, then smiled and nodded. "Other opportunities? We don't have any more opportunities, Mike. I'm going to take a shower," I said, facing him as he washed the dishes. I quickly took a shower, then crawled into bed, turning my back to him and pretending to sleep. When he came in, he walked up to me and looked at me for a long time, then sighed and got into bed. The next morning, I woke up early and left without him even asking where I had gone. It was as if nothing had happened the previous night. We returned to that awkward relationship. I stood in front of the calendar, looking at the dates, and crossed another day off. It's been half a month now. Now, I no longer check my phone to see if I have messages from him. He occasionally sends me a message, but I no longer overthink it when I receive them. Overall, everything is fine. I've started throwing myself into work, and I also submitted a job transfer request. When we first got together, HR had asked me if I wanted to transfer back to my hometown for work, but I had refused back then, just to be with him. Looking back now, it feels so silly. "Lucy, it's my birthday this Saturday, you and Mike should come," said Lily, Mike's friend. "Did you ask Mike?" I asked. "Yeah, he told me to ask you." "I might be busy. Maybe Mike can come by himself." "Are you kidding me?" Lily said, sounding a little upset. "It's Saturday, you can't skip it." I laughed awkwardly. "No, I've been really busy lately, Come on, just for a little while," she urged with a pout. I couldn't resist her charm, so I reluctantly agreed. Saturday morning, I was sitting at the dining table eating noodles when suddenly the door clicked open. I looked up and saw Mike stop in his tracks. Our eyes met unexpectedly, and both of us felt a little awkward and unsure. I avoided his gaze, looking down and poking at my noodles with my chopsticks. "Why are you here?" I asked. He changed his shoes and walked over, sitting across from me. "Aren't we supposed to go to Lily's birthday party today? Isn't it in the evening?" I replied. "Yeah, I thought I'd come early since there's nothing else to do," he said. He stared at me, making me feel a little uncomfortable. I put down my chopsticks. "Have you eaten? Want me to make you a portion too?" He nodded. I quickly left the living room and went into the kitchen. A few seconds later, he followed me in and stood behind me, watching me. "You can go out. You don't need to help," I said. "It's fine. I'm just looking," he replied. I sighed deeply. What was going on with him today? I quickly made him a bowl of noodles. I didn't even bother adding eggs and brought it out. Then I took a few casual bites of my own noodles and stood up. "Take your time eating. I have some work to handle. I'll take care of it and we'll go out later." I said that and rushed out of the living room. I really didn't know how to coexist with him in the same room. I could pretend to be asleep at night, but what about during the day? The only thing I could do was run away. Not long after, I heard the sound of the door opening. Is he gone? Just as I was about to check, I received a message on WeChat. "I'm going to the supermarket." Phew, he finally left. When he came back, it was already afternoon and I had finished my work. I froze for a few seconds when I saw Mike returning with bags in hand, then I realized and went up to meet him. "Couldn't you just give Lily the money? Why buy all this stuff?" I asked. "This is for you," he replied. "Huh?" I looked up at him. He walked around me, went to the fridge, and started putting everything in there while also scolding me. "There's no snacks in the house and you never buy any. You're always hungry at night, but you don't eat and complain about stomach aches. So, I bought some things you like." My heart tightened, a rush of bitterness rising in my chest. You see, he's like this, ignoring me most of the time, but then coming over occasionally to care for me, acting as if nothing happened. I pulled out my phone and transferred 500 MB to him. "What's this for?" "Nothing. Just wanted to thank you, but I didn't have any other way. So I'm sending you the money. You should buy something you like too." "You don't have to," he said. "It's fine. Just accept it," I replied. He smiled and raised his lips. "What's with you? Why so polite all of a sudden? Isn't it normal for a boyfriend to buy his girlfriend something to eat? But you're not my boyfriend anymore," I thought. "Yeah," I smiled. "I just wanted to express my gratitude." He didn't say anything else. In the evening, he drove me to a restaurant. As we got in the car, he slipped a bag into my hand. "New Year's gift. We've both been busy, I forgot, so here. See if you like it." I tightened my grip on the bag, opened it, and found a necklace. Mike has great taste. Every time he gives me something, it's always beautiful, and this one was no exception. "Thank you. You don't need to be so polite." He turned to look at me, pinching my cheek. "It's nothing as long as you like it." His eyes were filled with affection, making the mental preparation I had been doing for the past few days waver slightly. I gritted my teeth and thought, this is really the last time. Why not a ring? Huh? A ring? We've been together for almost 3 years now. Isn't it time for a ring? He fell silent for a while. During that time, I got so nervous my palms started sweating. "Mike, this is really the last time. If you don't cherish it, no matter what you do from now on, I won't be moved again. Do you want to set a date? He asked. Can't we? Isn't it time? I said. Lucy, I think we can wait a little longer. I loosened my grip on the bag instantly, lowered my head and chuckled softly, unsure whether I was laughing at him or at myself. Yeah, no rush. It's fine, I was just casually mentioning it. Don't mind me. After saying that, I didn't look at him anymore, turning to gaze out the window. During the entire birthday party, I wasn't really enjoying myself. I just sat beside him, forcing a smile and nodding along. In truth, I didn't like some of his friends. They always talked about Mia and dragged me into sharing memories of their childhood. I'd resisted before. One time, I showed my displeasure, and they waved it off with a smile. You're upset? Lucy, don't take it to heart. We grew up together, so of course we miss Mia. After all, Mike is with you now, so don't be so sensitive. Mike would hug me and tell me, I only love you, be magnanimous. Since then, whenever we ate with them, I just stayed in that mode whether what they said was right or not. I just went along with it. Afterward, he wanted to take me back to his place, but I turned him down, citing that I had to work early the next day. He didn't say anything. Maybe he was shocked by the mention of marriage earlier, but he nodded and agreed. After that, work started getting busier for me. I had to work overtime or travel for business almost every other day. One day, I was waiting for my flight to Shanghai at the airport when Mike called me. Do you want to come to my place for dinner today? I frowned and was about to refuse when the airport announcement came. Passengers traveling to Kunming, please note, your flight 3U8256 will soon be departing. You're at the airport, where are you going? He asked. I'm on a business trip, I replied. He fell silent for a few seconds, then complained. Why didn't you tell me? There's nothing to tell. Do you need anything? It's fine, I just wanted to take you out for dinner. Oh, I'm boarding now, I'm hanging up. I let out a sigh of relief, thinking he just suddenly remembered me. How laughable. When I got to Shanghai, I saw the messages he sent. Mike, let me know when you arrive. Mike, just give me a call. I deleted the record and ignored it. Later that night, he tried calling me on video. I hung up and sent a voice message instead. Why did you hang up? I wasn't dressed, it wasn't convenient. He chuckled softly. All right, but why didn't you tell me when you arrived? Forgot, I replied. How long are you staying? Not sure. Let me know when you're back. I'll pick you up at the airport. No need, I'll take a taxi. He paused for a few seconds. Lucy, did me saying let's wait on the marriage upset you? Huh? I was a bit stunned. Then why have you been acting different lately? I feel like you're mad at me, but I don't know why. Can you tell me? Am I the only one who's wrong? I thought sadly. No, you're overthinking it. I've just been busy. If you don't want to talk about it, that's fine. We'll talk when you get back. When I returned from my business trip, I didn't tell him I had taken a taxi back home. After unpacking and taking a shower, I picked up a pen and crossed out a few more days on the calendar. More than a month had passed, and I felt like I was halfway out of it. At least now, I wouldn't let his moods affect me as much. He showed up to pick me up on the third day after I came back. I don't know how he knew I was back. Maybe he asked a friend. I saw him standing in front of the company with a displeased expression. I knew a fight was inevitable. Why are you here? He didn't answer, just stared at me intensely, then grabbed my bag and pulled me toward the garage. I tried to pull away, but he held on tightly. I had no choice but to go along with him. When we got to his house, I changed my shoes, and he grabbed me again. I calmly turned around and looked at him. Why didn't you tell me you were back? I said I didn't need to be picked up. So? Does that mean you don't need to tell me when you're coming back from a trip? I'm supposed to figure it out myself? I sighed, pulling my hand away from his grip. Mike, I don't want to argue with you. He stared at me, breathing heavily for a few moments. At that moment, I actually hoped he would just say, let's break up, but he didn't. He walked around me and went back to his room. I stood there for a while, thinking about leaving. But just as I was putting on my shoes, he came out again. Where are you going? I'm going home. This is your home, isn't it? I rolled my eyes. What do you think? He stared at me for a few seconds, pressed his temples with his hand, then came over and pulled me to the couch. Turning around, he headed to the kitchen to cook. I sighed, shrugged, and stood up, walking toward the master bedroom. I opened the wardrobe and found a lot of my clothes there. When we had been together for 2 years, I had suggested living together, but he rejected the idea, saying it was inconvenient due to work. So, back then, every time I visited, I would bring over a lot of my things, hoping to leave some traces of myself in the house. I reached for a few pieces of clothing, folded them, and planned to take them back tomorrow. I thought, this is how it was when I dumped everything in. Now I'll slowly take it back, one day at a time, and eventually, it'll all be gone. After dinner, I took a shower early again and went to bed, pretending to sleep. What I didn't expect was that he climbed into bed and hugged me from behind. I didn't move. He whispered in my ear, "Lucy, you always wanted me to hug you before sleeping. Why don't you want that now?" Before? Yeah, it was always me who initiated things back then. I closed my eyes and let him hold me. Seeing that I didn't respond, he hugged me tighter, burying his head in my neck and kissing it. I haven't held you like this in so long. Back then, I liked being held by him to sleep, but he would complain about the heat and let go of me in the middle of the night, turning his back to me. So, I suggested we hug for half an hour before falling asleep and then separate. He was reluctant, but he agreed. I still didn't say anything. That night, he held me to sleep, just like that. In the middle of the night, I suddenly remembered I had to go to the bathroom. I noticed he wasn't in bed. I walked to the door and cracked it open. Sure enough, he was on the phone again. I know, I just realized I can't live without her. After distancing myself for a month, I missed her so much, I couldn't control myself, so I brought her back. I froze for a moment. I don't know what to do, I'm really confused. Yeah, I can't forget Mia, but it's Lucy who's been with me all these years. Still, I'm not totally over Mia. I don't know. She mentioned marriage last time. I brushed it off. She's been upset with me recently. Mia's coming back in 2 weeks and I'm really lost. I widened my eyes. 2 weeks. How did it get moved up? This can't wait any longer. I closed the door, went to the bathroom, and then returned to bed. The next morning, I woke up to find his arm across my waist. I frowned, trying to move it off, but as soon as I shifted, he tightened his grip and pulled me closer. Why are you up so early? I have to go to work. I pushed his arm away. Sleep a little longer. I'll take you, he said. No, I can't sleep anymore. You sleep, I replied. He opened his eyes and looked at me for a while. Then I won't sleep either. I'll go with you to breakfast. I couldn't refuse, so I went with him to eat breakfast. Then he drove me to work, and as I was about to get out of the car, he grabbed my hand. I'll pick you up later. I was confused. Why? You've always been too busy complaining it's a hassle. I'm not that busy these days, he paused. I'll pick you up, we'll go eat at my place, sleep, and I'll take you to work the next day. No, I've really been busy these days. I want to sleep in a bit longer, I replied. He looked at me for a few seconds, then said, Then I'll stay at your place. I sat back down. Do you have something to say? No, I just missed you. Holding you last night, I had the best sleep I've had in days. I sighed. Stop. Why? I smiled wryly. Mike, I'm a little tired. Let's break up. He froze for a few seconds, his brows furrowing tightly. Why? Is it just because I said let's wait on marriage? No. Then what is it? He adjusted my body, making me face him directly. I looked into his urgent eyes and I couldn't help but smile. What's there to be upset about? Haven't I been following your wishes? He froze for a while. What do you mean? Still pretending? Didn't you say we should distance ourselves first, then find a good reason to break up? Isn't everything going according to your plan? What's there to be dissatisfied with? He went silent, his hand trembling as it gripped mine. Did you hear that day? Yes, I did. I heard everything you said last night too. So don't bother, go find your Mia, I've dumped you. Just leave. He grabbed my arm. No, Lucy, I quietly waited for him to finish, but after a long pause, he still didn't speak. Mike, did you ever think about what would have happened if I hadn't heard that? He didn't answer. When you distanced yourself from me, I would have kept blindly trying to please you, doubting myself, and trying harder. Then, when you found a reason to break up with me and be with Mia, I would have kept doubting myself, wondering what I did wrong, or if I wasn't good enough. I smiled. I might have even gotten depressed because of it. Do you know that? And all of it, Mike, was just because you didn't like me enough, and you had already planned this. I raised my head, staring directly into his eyes. Actually, I really can't understand, Mike. We've been together for almost 3 years, and I even had a secret crush on you for a year. I thought I never did anything wrong to you. So why are you treating me like this? Just because I liked you? He finally showed some panic on his previously emotionless face. Mike, just leave. Actually, after this past month, I've almost forgotten about you. Really, but I can never forgive you, not in this lifetime. So just go. Don't come looking for me again. He stared at me for a long time. Are you sure? I nodded. Okay. He sighed deeply. If that's the case, then let's break up. I smiled lightly, nodded, and stood up to leave. The next day during lunch, I went to Mike's place and took all my things back. In the afternoon, I called him. Hello, I left the key on the coffee table. When will you return mine? He was silent for a long time, then replied, Are you sure? Lucy, if you don't want to break up, we don't have to. I was getting impatient. Can you stop avoiding the question? I asked you about the key. Unsure. Don't worry, I'll never look for you again. And just so you're clear, I dumped you. Get that straight. Lucy, I'm sorry. Mike, you can say 1,000 sorries, but it doesn't change the fact that you're a jerk. Throw the key away. I'll change the locks. After hanging up, I deleted all his contact information, including those of his friends. A few days later, I received some good news. My transfer request had been approved. Mom, I don't want to eat this. I stared at the cabbage and tofu soup on the table, lost in thought. I had been home for almost 2 months, and I gained 6 kilos from my parents feeding me. Eat. I even added some meat for you. Dad, I really don't want to eat. Knock, knock, knock. Who is it? I stood up to open the door. When I opened the door, I froze. Mike had lost weight and looked more haggard. When he saw me, his expression softened and he awkwardly smiled. Lucy. I furrowed my brow. Who is it? My dad came over. Hello, Uncle, I'm Lucy's friend. I came to visit you both. My dad gave me a meaningful look and then motioned for him to come in and sit down. I brought some gifts for you both. I raised an eyebrow and stopped him from coming in. Turning to my dad, I said, Dad, he's here for work, related matters. I'll go talk with him outside and come back soon. Then I put on my shoes, grabbed the gifts, and was about to leave. He stopped me. Just leave the gifts. It's fine. I pushed his hand away. It's fine. I should return the favor. It's too much trouble. I handed the gifts back to him and led him downstairs. Mike, what's going on? Sending invitations. He looked at me wearily. Why didn't you tell me you were back? I had to ask a lot of people to find out. I glanced at him. There's no need. Mike, what do you really want? He put down the gifts and grabbed my arm. Lucy, I miss you. Hey, I shook him off. He laughed and shook his head, his tone full of sadness. I didn't, but I can't forget you. No matter what, I can't forget. I turned to look at him, scanning his appearance. Can't forget? What's there to forget? I really loved Mike back then. In less than 2 months, I pretty much forgot you, and now I've completely moved on. I scoffed. The little bit of feeling Mike had for me, I don't think it would even last a week. No. His eyes began to redden. Lucy, I didn't see it clearly before. You're angry, I understand. It's okay. I'll slowly chase you again. I'll wait for you to come back to me. You're crazy, what? Did Mia dump you again? He shook his head. Mike, we've been together for almost 3 years. I've brought up meeting my parents at least 3 times, but what did you do? Always coming up with excuses to avoid it. Now? You suddenly want to. Sorry. I don't accept it, leave. I left him there and went upstairs. The chance I gave you, Mike, you didn't cherish. A week later, I saw Mike standing outside the office with a bright bouquet of roses, looking at me with a cheerful expression. When he saw me, he quickly ran over, handed me the flowers and took my bag. The colleagues around us wore curious expressions. I sighed and followed him. Mike smiled and looked at me as I followed him to the car. Was I not clear enough last week? He laughed and said, I was clear, but I also told you I'll wait for you. I frowned and asked, Mike, what are you doing now? Acting. No, I just want to get you back. I was speechless. He fumbled in his bag for a while and took out a small box, handing it to me. The custom ring I ordered is here. Take a look, see if you like it. I squinted at him. What's this supposed to mean? It means nothing. I just wanted to give you a ring. Giving me a ring after we broke up? Isn't that a bit inappropriate? Then let's get back together. I almost laughed at his audacity. You're really funny, Mike. How can you say that so easily? Wasn't it you who pushed me away first? Why is it up to you to decide when we break up and when we get back together? He looked up at me, his eyes full of desolation. I'm sorry, Lucy. I was confused back then. I was wrong, but I quickly realized that I love you. I scoffed. Love me? No, Mike. You still have some feelings for me, but it's not love. No, it's not that. You don't understand, Lucy. Mia and I grew up together. I always thought I would never love anyone the way I loved her. But then you came along, and you shattered that thought. After we broke up, nothing felt right. Even if Mia comes back, it won't change anything. He spoke with some surrender. That's when I realized I've always loved you. That's why I'm here. I want you back. So what? Do I have to take responsibility for your childish mistakes? He shook his head. No, I'm responsible for what I did. I just want to get you back. Lucy, please give me a chance. Sorry, Mike, but I don't have any feelings for you anymore. I don't even hate you. So please stop doing these meaningless things. After I said that, I got out of the car, threw the roses into a trash bin, and took a cab back home. I think I must have struck a nerve with him because he didn't try to contact me for the next half a month. Apart from changing his number to send me messages and call me, I didn't see him again. Your mom set up a blind date for you. I sighed. Mom, I really don't need to get married right now. Oh, come on. It won't hurt to go and see. It's just a date. I couldn't argue with her, so I went. The guy was a polite gentleman. After our conversation, there wasn't much chemistry, but at least it wasn't awkward. I'm glad today went well. I hope you feel the same. I unbuckled my seatbelt, smiled, and replied, Of course. When I got out of the car, he handed me my bag. Would you like to go see a movie tomorrow? Since I didn't have anything else planned, I nodded and agreed. Sure. All right, I'll see you tomorrow. Good night. Good night. After he drove away, I turned to head back home. But after walking a few steps, I suddenly felt someone hug me from behind. Before I could react, I was lifted up. I looked down and saw it was Mike. Anger surged through me, and I struggled violently. What the hell is wrong with you? Put me down. No matter how much I cursed or hit him, he held on to me tightly and shoved me into the back seat of the car. Then he got in himself. What the hell? He seemed to want to devour me as he kissed my lips, one hand gripping my neck, the other pressing down on my back. I couldn't break free. I waited for the right moment, then bit him hard, feeling the blood rush into my mouth. He pulled back for a second, but then pressed back against me. His kiss suffocated me, and only then did he ease up slightly. Who was that guy? None of your business. I told you to wait for me. Who the hell do you think you are? Why should I wait for you? Furious, I shoved him off. He let out a few harsh breaths and reached into the front seat for his bag. He started searching through it. This is my household register, ID card, property deed, bank cards. I was a little stunned. What are you doing? He yanked me over to him, his nose against mine. We're going upstairs to meet your parents, then we'll go get married. I stared wide-eyed at him. Are you out of your mind? Yeah, I went crazy when I saw you get out of his car. He hugged me tightly again. I know I was wrong. Please don't leave me, Lucy. I know I was wrong. Don't leave me. His voice trembled, and I could feel his tears soaking into my neck. I closed my eyes, trying to calm myself. Mike, you were the one who pushed me away first. I know, I was wrong. I'll wait for you to forgive me, no matter how long it takes. But you can't leave me. We were good together, right? He tightened his hold on my face. You wanted marriage, right? Let's go get married, okay? I swear I'll never make such a foolish mistake again. I'll love only you for the rest of my life. I smiled faintly. No, Mike, I can't be with you anymore. This is something I can't get past. After a long pause, he raised his head, his eyes shimmering with tears. Am I really that unforgivable? I calmly nodded. Yes, for me you are. He lowered his head, and I could feel the wetness of his tears on my neck. He cried silently, his breath shallow and shaking as the tears dripped down. I thought to myself, this is so familiar. It's how I cried that night. Before he left that day, he said, I won't bother you anymore. I wish you happiness. But Lucy, I'll wait for you. If you ever change your mind, we'll get married. I smiled and responded, I wish you happiness too. Don't worry, that day will never come. When I shared this with my best friend Coco, who had just returned from Xinjiang, she didn't hesitate for a second. She took me on a trip to help me clear my mind. I'm here, Lucy. I froze for a second. It was Lily. Ah, what's up? Nothing, I just wanted to ask. Are you really done with Mike this time? Yeah, we've been over for a while. She sighed. Actually, I already knew. I'm not calling to try and get you to forgive him. I just wanted to tell you. She took a deep breath. Mia's back, but Mike didn't get back together with her. He didn't do anything wrong to you. He might have said those things, but after talking with my boyfriend, he kept regretting it, saying he needed to distance himself, but he couldn't help but check on you. He does love you, Lucy. I just want you to know that these 3 years weren't wasted. I smiled softly. What do you mean he didn't do anything wrong? Does he have to sleep with her for it to count? I think emotional cheating counts too. True, I was just worried you'd think those 3 years were wasted and start doubting yourself. I won't. I didn't do anything wrong. All right. She paused for a moment. Actually, I really like you and I want us to be friends. But now that we're on different sides, I just want to wish you happiness. Forget about him. You deserve better. I smiled and said, thanks. You too. After hanging up, Coco immediately ran over to ask, who was that? A friend. Seeing that I didn't want to talk about it, she didn't ask further. All right, let's go then. Let's go see Erhe Lake. Looking at the stunning scenery, a lyric suddenly popped into my head. The sky brings 5 words, none of which matter. Coco poked me, handing me a camera. How's it? Beautiful, right? Let's enjoy the future days happily. Let go of what you need to, and cut off what you must. I lifted the camera, taking a photo of the evening pink-purple sunset. I'm treating this as my version of letting go this year. Letting go of this relationship, cutting off this emotion and leaving this person. Coco pulled me into a hug. Exactly. While we're young, we should go see the mountains, the rivers, the world's wonders, and our motherland's beautiful landscape. Why should we let some stupid guys ruin our best years? Our youth belongs only to us, no one else should waste it. I burst out laughing. Right, we're uniquely beautiful.